Oh, what up? It's your boy Skinny Penis.
I'm Tom.
I'm slightly less skinny penis.
Oh, so that's the direction we're going tonight. Okay.
Oh, God.
Of course. It's always time for penis.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
Welcome to What Are We Reading? We're back at it with My Inner Life. As always, link in the description.
Yeah, if you want to put yourself through the same pain we're putting ourselves through.
Also, might as well just start off this reading by saying it right now. We have a Patreon. Link will be in the description. Yes, we have
cool.
a Patreon.
Sweet. Okay, cool. I didn't know that was up and running.
I set that up last week. There's a link to it on the YouTube channel now.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so if you like what you're hearing, consider donating.
For any who is actually listening, because last I checked, there was only like 2 or 3 views.
Something like that.
Dang.
So let's start this off. We'll start it off.
Yeah.
Welcome home. How was thy honeymoon? The king questioned. We had the time of our lives, Link said, and a grin happed upon his face. It was very beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're still cutting out, man.
Am I?
Hopefully the recording, it's not cutting out.
Kidding.
No, it's it's showing that you're speaking. It's just I'm not picking up. It's not my headset is not picking up your voice.
Okay.
Same here.
So me doing this voice wasn't going through.
We just heard this voice wasn't going through. That's all I heard.
I'm looking, and the thing is going past little thing on the sensitivity for it should be picking up.
I don't know what it is. It's like the beginning of you saying something. It just cuts out slightly, and then you pick up mid-sentence.
What the hell?
I don't know. And it's just then when you said how, it sounded kind of like an echo. It was really weird.
I said hugging the king tightly. I really enjoyed the time with Link. Just then, Zelda, that whore, spoke up. A fairy from the forest has sent word that the great Deku Tree wants to speak with you both. Link and I exchanged glances. The great Deku Tree has summoned us? I said as I looked back at Zelda. Yes, the word came in this morning. Link looked at me with a confused look, as opposed to looking away from me with a confused look. Why is look in there twice? We had better not keep the great Deku Tree waiting, Link inquired. That's not inquiring. Inquiring is a question.
Yes, that grammar.
Inna, my daughter, I will have one of your horses saddled and brought to you. I nodded, and then the king and Princess Zelda, that whore, returned to the castle.
All right, am I next?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to do any of this, but let's do it. After a few minuets, a stable hand came with my brown mare Star Dancer, in quotation marks for some reason.
So he danced the horse to her.
Link helped me up into the saddle, then mounted Epona. Link gently booted Epona, and she took off at a gallop. I then followed. We headed to Kokiri Forest. It was not a long ride because the world is tiny, but we had to make haste. As we arrived at the entrance to the Kokiri Forest, Saria was there to greet us. You made it. The great Deku Tree is waiting, Saria said as we dismounted. Wait, what voice do we give her?
I don't know. I think we just gave her you made it. The great Deku Tree is waiting.
Okay, whatever. I will have your horses tended to. Please go on. We each exchanged looks, then entered the Kokiri village. All of the Kokiri watched us as we make our way through. Okay, stick with one tense and then go with it. Then when we reached the entrance to the great Deku Tree's meadow, Mido, the Kokiri leader, was waiting. You must hurry. The great Deku Tree is waiting, Mido said as he ushered us onward. We walked down the path and into the meadow.
As we stood in front of the Deku tree, the great Deku tree, he awoke from his slumber. Oh, Link and Jenna, Faust has arrived. Come. Sit, I have a great
Pedophile.
news for thee. Link and I sat down in the grass and awaited for the great Deku tree's news. Link, hero of time, thou art courageous. You saved Hyrule and has taken a wife.
Even the
Jenna,
great Deku
thou
tree doesn't
art.
believe.
What?
Even the great Deku tree doesn't believe this guy's actually the hero of time. He put it in quotation marks. Link, hero of time. Thou art courageous.
Alright, anyways, Jenna, thou art spiritual. Ye lost thy family, then began a vagabond journey like some damn Mary Sue. Now thou hast taken a husband. Shall ye seek a blessing of child? I turned to Link and we exchanged a smile and we said, yes! Since Hyrule is... Okay, is that... I can't tell who's saying that. Is that Link?
I think they're both.
I think
it
it's the
said
great
we.
Deku tree.
No, it said we.
Since Hyrule is at peace now, things are well, but the Desert Man may someday return.
Oh,
The
no, it's
Desert
the
Man?
tree.
What?
It's the tree. It's the tree saying it.
Yep.
But the Desert Man may someday return. I give each of ye a guardian fairy to protect ye.
Oh
The
yes.
Desert Man is referring to Ganondorf, which, let me say, that's kind of a racial slur, man.
Oh God, the great. It's okay. He's old. He's the great Deku tree is from another time. It's okay if he says something
maybe
racist at Thanksgiving.
But no, at the beginning of Ocarina of Time, the great Deku tree died, and now it's the new one saying this. So there's no excuse for that.
Dude, what the fuck?
Like, I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, he did die in Ocarina of Time, yes.
Well, anyway.
Alright, I go. Just then, two faces, one with a pink aura and one with a blue aura, flew over to us. I cannot believe that fairies really exist, I thought to myself. I watched as the blue fairy flew over to Link. Long time no see, Link! How I missed you! Hey, listen! Should I start all of Navi's lines like that?
Okay.
Link
It'll be
looked at
fun
the
with
fairy and
Marvelous.
smiled big, inhumanly big.
Uh,
Navi, my old friend, I have missed you too.
through gritted teeth.
How have you been since last we saw each other? Link inquired the blue fairy. Hey, listen! Oh, great! Hey, listen! I see you've taken a wife! Hey, listen! She is truly beautiful, Link! Hey, listen!
Oh my
Two
gosh, why?
beautiful children
I
together.
think that's enough. He listens.
Each one's in separate quotations, so
Am I the only one who didn't find Navi all that annoying?
yes.
I never played the game, so I wouldn't know.
Fairy smiled at length and flew over to me, the pink one behind her. As the fairy hovered over to me, her blue aura seemed so beautiful, so peaceful. Hey, listen! My name is Navi, and this is Lily. Hello! The pink fairy said. We will be the guardian fairies for Link and you from now on. Navi inquired. That's not a question. I could not believe I was getting a fairy. Neither can anyone else. Why would you be getting a fairy?
Yeah, you're not a Kokiri.
They were only told in storybook tales where I came from. Apparently everything was told in storybook tales where you're from.
Yeah.
As I looked
It's
at
almost
Navi
like
and Lily.
Alright, never mind.
What were you saying? It's almost like she's poorly written.
Fan fiction.
No, but like it's almost like she's writing it like Link is from like a story or a video game in her land. Like
Oh
she's
God, she's
like
an
legitimately
isekai
like
character.
imprinting this as a dream.
Oh God, she's an isekai
I mean-
character.
Oh,
One day
no.
I was playing Legend of Zelda, and a portal opened up, and I fell into Hyrule.
And now I'm trapped here.
Now I'm
Ugh.
fucking Link.
I would not want to be trapped in Ocarina of Time. The world is so freaking small.
But it's bigger than she makes it sound.
Well, yeah, but even so, it's
Apparently she only needs a 30-minute horse ride to get from the castle to the coast. In another country.
It's simple.
Yeah.
All the other countries are just filled with teeny people. So all the land's very teeny too. So it's like just stepping over the border and you're at the shore.
Oh, God. Let's see.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever. Okay.
I was glad they were not just myths. I was glad
Navi-
to have a fairy partner.
Oh, yeah, you were breeding. Sorry. Now it's my turn. Navi then flew back over to Link, and Lily came over to me. What voice should we give Lily?
I gave Lily Toad's voice.
I was about to say, "Hello, Jenna! It's nice to meet you!" Lily said as she hovered in front of me. As I looked at the pink fairy, I was glad that she was my guardian with her grating voice. Lily, I think we are going to be good friends. As do I! Lily responded. Then I got up and went over to Link. I threw my arms around him and looked into his eyes. His eyes seemed to glow in the sunlight. I laid my head against his chest and began to think to myself, Guardian Fairy, I would have never dreamed. It is not a myth, this is real, and I am very lucky.
Sure, Mrs. This is all my dreams. Anyways, just then, the great Deku Tree spoke once more. Thou art courageous and thou art spiritual. Like I said before, I'm old. I have dementia. We'll be protected if the Desert Man should ever return. Then your guardian fairies will help protect ye. When thou hast thy firstborn, return to see me.
Yee.
With his words, ye. With his words spoken, the great Dekuchi returned to his slumber. Shh. I had Link's hand. I had Link's hand as he looked at the two fairies. This is truly a... Wait, I can't tell who's saying this. Oh well. This is surely a great gift the great Dekuchi has given us. Then I looked back at Link and he nodded in agreement. Oh shit. Creepy girl's supposed to say that. Anyways, Link and I then kissed before we started for home. When we returned to Kokiri Village, all the Kokiri, especially Saria, that bitch, wanted to know what the great Dekuchi told us. Saria's eyes wide when we told her we had our own fairies, even more so when she found out Navi returned to Link.
Navi died.
Wait, so has Navi been reincarnating too?
Yes. How else would you explain L targeting?
You're just impaling Navi. This is great news, Saria said cheerfully. It is great to see that Navi has returned. Link nodded and a smile crossed his face, but was hit by a car halfway across. How come they get fairies? They are not even Kokiri. Finally, a voice of reason. A voice called from behind. Just then, the headstrong Mido approached us. What makes them so special to get their own fairies? Mido questioned. That bastard! Saria turned and looked at Mido square in the face. Link is the hero of
time.
He is
I love
special,
that.
so is his wife, who's done jack shit. As the
She's
sage
traded.
of the forest, I remember what Ganon said when we sealed him the sacred realm. He cursed that he would one day get revenge on Link or his descendants.
I think that's decadence.
No, it's an E after a C. That wouldn't be decadent. That would be
Well, it's not
descendants.
descendants either.
Descendants. Ease.
Okay, fine. I'll accept it.
Would it be decadence? It's a soft C. Link has.
But it's spelled wrong.
Link has already confided in me that he and his new wife plan on having children.
Really?
For some reason. They will need protection. Prevent this from happening. We cannot allow the final seal to be broken. They will need protection if Ganon should ever return. He would go after Link and his family first. Saria's eyes narrowed as she confronted Mido. That fucking bastard! Saria was always protective of Link, probably because she was a bit attracted to him when you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And even more so when Mido tried to get smart. I watched as she faced off against Mido.
When Mido saw the fire burning in Saria's eyes, he knew to back off.
Get a fire.
Well, they still don't deserve it, grumble, grumble. Then Mido walked off. Really?
He said grumble, grumble.
Really?
He said grumble, grumble.
I mean, if you would have put it in like asterisks, that would have been halfway acceptable. But
no, it's they
whatever.
Deserve it, grumble, grumble.
Then Mido walked off. Saria watched as he went. I'm sorry for all of that
ass.
trouble. I guess he really never got over what happened 8 years ago. Saria then walked up to Link. Sigh. I guess he will never get over it. She said as she placed her hand gently on Link's. I will always remain your friend, Link, not matter what. Grammar.
Not matter what.
Your friend Link, not matter what. I'm gonna kill someone. I will also help protect you and your family should Ganon ever return. I promise, Saria said as she looked over at me, and I knew I believed her. Well, I would hope you would know, because it's you doing the believing, but whatever.
She's helping out of fear, because she knows better.
She would go to the ends for Link. The bitch.
What?
Wait, is Hyrule on Earth,
Hyrule
or is it somewhere
if memory
else?
Serves, doesn't its planet already have a name?
Yeah, it's something else. It's not Earth.
Gaia, right?
Yeah. And that made me feel better as well. We spent some time there while Link said some temporary goodbyes as I sat and talked with Lily. God, I hate this.
Is known of the world outside of Hyrule.
The Light World is a conjectural name given to the greater setting of the Legend of Zelda series, in essence the planet on which the game takes place, specifically the dimensions in which lands such as Hyrule are found.
Okay,
so Hyrule's a dimension, okay.
No, Hyrule's a kingdom, but apparently it takes place on the Light World.
Okay, so the Light World's a dimension of its own.
Alright, so do I read when it started to get late?
Yes.
When it started to get late, we decided it was time to settle into our new home. Link wanted me to see it while there was still light. Then Saria went... Sorry.
Nope, that's about how I feel.
Saria makes me barf. Anyways, went to fetch our horses. When she came back, we mounted and headed for the Lost Woods. Link and I waved goodbye just before we disappeared into the tunnel leading into the Lost Woods, right before we got mauled by wild animals.
The
We
Lost
made our
Woods
way
is a terrible place to make a house.
Yeah. We made our way. It's like the Great Deku-Tree's like, come bring me your firstborn. They bring him like a dead child with half its head chopped off because some animal started eating it.
Or they bring...
Come bring me your firstborn. They give it to like the tree just eats it.
That was what I was about to say. Get out of my head, dang it.
We made our way through the maze of trees and into the large clearing. There stood the most beautiful house I had ever seen. But still not as beautiful as Link.
And his ass.
Oh my god.
Oh man, his ass.
At Link ass.
Sorry if I peeked the mic.
No, it's fine. You came through clearer than you have in the past.
My eyes were transfixed on the house as I dismounted. Link.
No, I'm pretty sure it was on Link's ass.
As she dismounted Link. I ran up to the front of the house and looked it over. There was a white gate in the front with a fence that ran all the way around the house.
White picket fence.
A stable for horses was on the right side. A pen for sheep and pigs just off to the side near the front. There was a pasture behind the house to graze cows and horses in. You're eating the cows in the field?
Well, I mean, to each their own. I prefer it medium well, thank you much.
I mean, I honestly prefer, like, poultry.
Yeah, I like
And
steak.
off to the left of the house was the well. And every 7 days, Sadako would crawl out. The house itself was like a summer home. It was a light tan house with a white roof. The windows were monastery style. And
Monastery.
The front door was brown with the carving of the Triforce symbol just below the greeting hole. Greeting hole.
Yeah, the greeting hole. Not
The
not
greeting
the.
hole.
What
the
is the
greeting
greeting hole?
Hey, baby, come back to my place and I'll show you my greeting hole.
Hey.
What? I mean, I was going to talk about the fact that she has a symbol she would not be allowed to have on the door. But
yeah,
the
Triforce
greeting
was like-
hole. And when I then went inside, I was nearly blown away.
It was a wind
Luckily,
tunnel.
it turns out that there was anti break-in measures to keep out Mary Sue's.
It was called Aurora's wind.
Just to open the door and get launched into the forest.
And lost forever.
God.
Bad end? Question mark?
Good end. Good end. Very much good end.
Yes. The entire house was furnished. The living quarters had a wooden couch with cushions. Ow, that would be uncomfortable. Oh, wait, cushions. Never mind. A reading chair sat beside a fireplace. Okay. There was a book table beside the couch with an oil lamp on it. A book table?
Table.
I mean, I was actually kind of liking the design so far. Then you said book table.
It's just a table made of books.
All the books are just on top of it.
Yeah, just like
books are-
stacked, like with a
books are
fort.
all
It says no people who aren't Link or Jenna allowed.
It's just a bunch of books with the covers glued together, stacked up to make a table.
Okay, I can
You
accept
accidentally
that.
bump the thing, and it ends up just like toppling over, and you have to close it
Oh no.
like a page.
Candles and stands stood all around the room, while oil lamps hung from the wall. Okay, I
Wait, there
think you
were
mean
stands?
sconces. Sconces. Oh my
Stands.
stando.
Zuoldo!
Stop hunting them! There was even a spice rack on the wall. Wait, hold on. No, I missed the line. In the dining quarters stood a huge wooden table with 6 chairs around it.
Why do they need
small
6
vase-
chairs?
A small vase of flowers sat in the middle. The kitchen had all of the cooking supplies we would ever need. There was even a spice rack on the wall. Okay, this sounds like a nice cabin in the woods. That like this. It has no right to sound this nice.
I can't wait for the murderer to show up and kill them as they fuck.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nah, he'd join in first.
Serial kill, and then a serial killer came.
Ew.
That was a callback.
A small icebox was in the corner, and another small
Excuse
fireplace was in the back cooking.
Excuse me.
Wait, did they have ice boxes?
No.
Well, it's Hyrule. I'm not going to question it. There was a spiral staircase that went up to the sleeping quarters. I walked up the staircase and went to see the sleeping quarters. When I reached the top, I noticed there were 5 doors. 4 were
I saw
empty
the
and 1
sleeping
furnished.
quarters.
4 were empty and 1 furnished. The one that was furnished was our bed chamber.
Is
There was
that in
an
all caps?
Edwardian bed. What? I guess that's a footnote or something.
Yes, that's a footnote.
With beautiful white silk sheets and pillows. A wooden chair sat off to the right, and a small table with an oil lamp sat to the left of the chair. Silk curtains lined the window. An wardrobe closet stood in the left side of the room. A wardrobe? What?
An award closet? So like Linking
And
just
a
keeps all his like
wardrobe closet. It's supposed to be wardrobe.
Yeah, when it said a wardrobe closet. I just imagine like a closet filled with trophies, but had robes draped all over the place for some reason.
It's a whole bunch of just like like robes that just like on the back have like gold medals and shit like embroidered onto it. Number 1.
The house sounds nice without the freaking mistakes. With the mistakes, it makes it just sound stupid.
It means that reality's breaking in the house, thankfully.
Yeah.
I was so overjoyed with the sight that when Link came up behind me, I threw my arms around him.
How?
She's just like flopping her arms behind her.
I just imagine they break and just wrap around Link and just start crushing him. Just she's demonically possessed.
Just up and backwards, like cracks her spine in half. breaks his jaw with the top of her head.
Yes. Wait, no, that's Link. Don't do that to Link. What did he ever do to you?
He got brainwashed.
Told him I loved him and kissed him passionately before I drove the knife into his back. I know that this was the place we were going to raise our family. Too bad I just killed him. The place I was going to spend the rest of my life in with his dead body. Link had given me a beautiful gift, a gift of his love, and a cold body that won't resist.
I just imagine a little piece of heaven by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, God. That just caused me to have another flashback to a certain game that you seriously need to play at some point, Tom.
Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club?
Play it already.
Yeah, I still haven't started it.
What? You pussy.
No, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm going to eventually. It just might take a while.
New life. A few months later, I came home from the castle after watching Link all day.
Hey.
In the practice yards with his Legion. Most specifically, his
Legion?
ass.
What? He has a Legion?
Apparently.
How does one get a Legion? I've been trying to do that for years, and it has not worked at all. They just think I'm crazy.
If you summon enough demons into your body.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's the coward, the easy way out.
That's not the kind of Legion you're talking about.
Now, I'm talking... Well, I mean, if you're talking like Legion to end the world, I just want something to conquer maybe the city. I mean, not the world or the country or anything.
No, I mean, like, my name is Legion, for I am many.
No, not that. I want like the Roman Legion, you know, like the
That's no fun.
1,000 people or whatever, or 10,000 people.
No fun. He had spent the day teaching sword techniques to the people in his Legion. Meanwhile, I was training to use some sword techniques on him. That's my drift. I spent most of the day watching him. Until I started feeling a little sick.
Wait, why the pause?
Because I was hoping the sentence would end there.
The paragraph had ended there.
I had moved into the garden to sit down and rest when Zelda came to see me. You do not look well, my friend. Are you okay?
Russian Zelda, I forgot.
I feel a little sick in the stomach, and I feel really tired. I said as I held my stomach and tried to get up. Come, my friend. Come, comrade. I will take you to healer. Zelda took my hand and led me to the healer's chambers.
When we got there, the healer had me lie on a table while she looked me over. After some time, she found out I was not well. She told me I was pregnant. Zelda looked at me with shock as I was hit with joy. Zelda looked at me with shock as I was hit with joy. A rush of happiness ran through me. I looked at Zelda and then I hugged her.
I'm just imagining someone named Joy decking her. As I was hit with joy.
Nurse Joy got kind of aggressive.
Okay, so is this Zelda speaking or...
Yes, that is Zelda speaking.
Okay. Oh, goddesses, congratulations! Oh, Link will be so happy. Zelda smiled at me as we hugged, and I felt warm inside.
Don't think that was Russian.
Yeah, I don't know what that was that came out of my mouth. I must go and tell father. Then Zelda took off to fetch the king. What was that?
Oh God, what did you put in the chat?
Whoops.
Okay, you didn't put anything in the chat.
What was
just
that?
happened?
That was a weird sound. Okay.
That was me accidentally clicking on a different Discord chat and leaving.
Oh,
I hope
thanks.
I hope that doesn't like fuck up the recording.
Shit, will it?
Maybe,
Now
I
there's
don't know.
two Zanes. Wait, what?
Hey, I'm not the one who edits this stuff, so I don't care.
Damn.
That's not your problem.
I mean,
Mine.
Craig or whatever the fuck the bot's in here is still in here, right?
Yeah, Craig's
Yeah,
still in
should be.
here. I'm just wondering
So
how
it
it's going to
sh-
count that.
Probably just a da-dunk sound, but we'll see. I turn my attention back to the healer, who doesn't have a name because apparently they're not important enough.
Well, obviously.
How far along am I asked. About 2 months, the healer responded. Then she handed me a small bag with herbs in it. Here are some
Smoke
herbs to counter
this.
the morning sickness and dizziness.
You have to smoke
Make sure
it.
you take it easy. No real heavy activities, as opposed to...
It's okay.
skinny
If your eyes turn
activities.
red, that's normal.
Eat and drink a lot, and make sure you get enough sleep. And
Well, you're
one
going
piece
to
of
need to
advice
eat after the herbs.
And one piece of advice on a personal note. If you and your husband make love a lot while you're pregnant, you'll help make the baby stronger.
Oh, you won't.
Just no real heavy lovemaking. Keep it gentle. And come back to see me in 2 weeks. You may now leave, friend Jenna. She gestured for me to get up as a spark came out of her neck, and I nodded at the healer as I got off the table and headed back to the palace garden.
Friend Aaron.
As I waited for Princess Zelda and her father, I put my hand on my belly and began to think to myself, oh my goodness, I gotta be a mother.
Goddesses.
My firstborn, Link's child. A tear started to run down my cheek. He gave me this miracle, blessed me with a baby. He can't leave my side now. We're committed forever. I love him so much. Then tears of happiness started to stream down my face. I had a miracle growing inside of me, probably shaped like the Triforce I keep stealing from the Royals. Nick and I made a new life together. We were truly blessed.
This is the exact opposite of a miracle growing inside you.
This becomes like Starkid's prophecy, and they pull out the 10 Commandments. Like she bursts the 10 Commandments out.
Honestly, all I'm imagining is this one episode of Dr. Phil in which it was this woman who thought she was pregnant with the second coming of Jesus.
Okay, then.
I'm telling you, there's Jesus in there. You're not pregnant. I'm pregnant with the baby Jesus. Oh, God. We have a Lily line. And I heard Lily calling to me, Jenna, I just heard the news. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Link will be so happy when you tell him. How are you going to tell him?
You can't really do Toad's voice. You just sound like you're yelling. It's kind of funny.
It's painful. It's really high-pitched yelling.
Maybe like she's super small, so the only way people can hear her is if she yells like this.
Just shouting eternally.
Lily's grin nearly split her face, which she didn't have because she's a fairy in The Legend of Zelda.
And that's just a ball of light with wings.
What is she like? Is she like how God appeared to the homunculus in the flask in Full Metal Alchemist? Just a ball with a mouth?
Yeah, I can see that.
Be
And
terrifying.
that's really disturbing.
That is how fairies talk in Legend of Zelda now. It's canon.
Just... just...
I looked at Lily and her pink aura seemed to glow brighter. You mean her pink body? I
don't know.
I thought of lighting some candles, cooking a meal, drugging it, creating a romantic setting, telling him over dinner when he was paralyzed and couldn't get away. Lily flew in a circle. That is a great idea! I cannot wait to see... Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on his face! Lily said as she chuckled at the thought of Link's expression after he was told.
Empoisoned.
I sat and wondered how Link would take it, but I knew that he always wanted a child. Did he? Canonically, he never speaks. So how would you know? And I hoped the baby would be a boy, since that is what Link always wanted, apparently.
Why would
You wanted a boy, right? That's what you always wanted.
there are plenty? Like, what? Why are you enforcing the patriarchy?
Jenna, my boy, dear daughter, I heard about thy pregnancy. Just then, the king walked into the palace garden. I looked over at that pink bitch fairy. In 5 seconds, when I wasn't even looking, she's already fucking telling gossip. Anyways, just then the king walked into the palace garden with Princess Zelda right behind him.
Bitch.
Oh shit, my line's not funny anymore because the princess just told me about thy new miracle. I ran over to him and gave him a big kingly
That doesn't
hug.
count, Tom.
That's just how I imagine Lily for some reason.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure
In
that's
the chat.
fairies from the cartoon. That doesn't count.
She's wearing pink.
It doesn't count, Tom. That's not how fairies look in Legend of Zelda, and you know it.
God,
In what
no.
universe it is?
In one terrible, terrible universe. Technically two. If you count this one.
Yeah.
All right. The king looked into my eyes. His eyes were as gentle as ever, implying at some point that they weren't gentle, I guess.
Ow.
Congratulations, my
Oi!
my daughter. Have thou told Link yet? I nodded. No, what?
Nodded no.
With that, I was going to tell him tonight over dinner, after I paralyzed him.
I like how we're going with just full-on yandere or whatever.
You understand
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Which is
that's how
weird,
you say
because
it.
if she's a Jinko, she should have the muscles to restrain him.
When you and Link have thy firstborn, I will have everyone in Hyrule attend to celebrate thy new life, or
It's an
be
abuse of power,
killed.
sir. It's an abuse of power, sir. God damn it, Tom.
Yeah, a naming ceremony will also be held. It will be a blessed event. The king's smile seemed to glow.
What?
Sorry, this thing's actually making me sick. I'm going to be a grandfather. The
You're
king
not.
said it, smiled at me. His smile always warmed my soul, much like Link's paralyzed body will tonight. I was so glad he was like a father to me, always gentle and caring. Now that I was to have a baby, it brought us even closer. We chit-chatted a little longer until the dizziness started to take hold. Then I threw up the baby because I'm actually an alien.
Vomiting out a child.
Yep. Then the king saw me to the gate and I headed for home.
After they cleaned up the baby.
After I cleaned up the baby, yeah.
Oh.
When I reached home, I went straight to bathe. After I undressed, I looked down at my bare stomach. I put my hand gently on my belly and rubbed up and down. There was I almost said little. Whoops. There was a life growing inside me.
A tumor.
You don't want to know anything about littles, believe me. That is some creepy fucking roleplay.
Yep, just gonna ignore that.
Miracle
And
that
pretend I didn't hear about it.
the baby was going to be beautiful. If not, we would throw it off a cliff.
Oh, so this is Sparta.
I was about to say.
Then I got into the tub and slid down into the water. I soaked my sore ankle. It's been 1 day.
Oh, apparently it's been 2 months.
And legs a while. Then I took a wash rag and cleaned up. You know, considering how the medieval era actually was, somehow I doubt they'd be bathing.
Probably. But then again, it's high fantasy, so you never know.
After I washed up and got out and dried off. Oh, after I washed up, I got out and dried off. Whoops. I went to the wardrobe closet and selected a low-cut pink
Does it say
dress
it
with
again?
long sleeves and the Triforce symbol over my right breast. A pink feathery lace ran underneath my breasts, and a crisscross pattern held the back together. I put my hair into a bun and went downstairs. No, it didn't say a wardrobe again.
GG.
Just
Okay, Tom?
freaking.
I want my own wardrobe.
I'd love to have a wardrobe.
I lit the candles around the room and the 2 on the table. Then I went to prepare
That's not the
dinner.
House of fire.
I made... What?
Then I set the house on fire.
I made cooked pork in a cream sauce with
As
potatoes and
opposed
cabbage.
to raw pork.
That actually sounds really good, dang
As
it.
opposed to raw pork.
Yeah, it's...
Well,
would
that's
you
why she
need to
cooked it, because it was raw.
Why
yeah,
would
I
she
guess
need
so.
to
I mean,
specify that the cork was that the cork was pooked?
yeah, let's go with that.
Fucking dyslexia.
As I made the final preparations, I heard a horse come plodding up to the stable.
Ceremony
finished
will
setting the
begin
table.
soon.
But
Ritual will begin soon.
I guess so. I finished setting the table, put the food out on the table, took my apron off, and hurried to the door away from the table to greet Link away from the table. As she stepped in the door, his eyes looked me up and down. You look ravishing, my love. You look
voice.
ravishing, my love. I thought about you all day long. Then he reached over, kissed me on the lips, took my hand, and led me into the house.
Once inside, he noticed the candles and food on the table. Honey, what is with the candles and the food setting? I looked into his dark blue eyes and smiled. But I inwardly panicked because I forgot to put the poison in. I just wanted to surprise you with a romantic dinner after you worked hard all day. And maybe slip the poison in when you're not looking, what? I said sweetly. His
This is why you
smile
don't
widened
trust
as he
Pink
took
House.
me into his arms. It's just lovely, my sweet. Thank you, my love. He kissed me again, then gestured for me to sit at the table. He pushed
At
in
the
my
table.
chair before seating himself, and when he turned away, I put the poison in. After we served ourselves, I looked up from my food and at him, and forgot that I put the poison in before we split up our meals, so I might have poison too now. This will make for a fun evening.
I hate the flowery language in this.
Oh boy. Let's see. Or was it? Oh. All right. So, oh wait. This is her speaking. So, honey, how was your day? After he swallowed a bite of food that I poisoned, he answered, "The king and I had a discussion about updating defensive moves among the army. So I spent the entire day teaching new sword techniques and defensive strategies among the men." I cocked my head at Link, thinking about a few of my own sword strategies.
Oh no.
Does the king think a war is brewing? I asked. No, but he wants to be prepared in the even that one does, and men have to be sent in. Link, honey, I did watch you today until I started not to feel well. I put the fork down. Link's eyes grew a worried look in them. How do you feel
Like
now,
a tumor.
sweetheart?
As the poison set in, he started to get paralyzed.
As he started to walk, just fell on the floor. He asked concerned, "I feel better now. I went to see the castle's healer." Then there was a long pause before Link broke the silence. "Are you okay, my love?" Link questioned. "Link, my love, I have something to tell you," I said, looking into his eyes.
Just then, Lily and Navi flew into the room. Lily flew up to my ear. "Jack, did you tell him yet?" "Tell him what?" Navi chimed in.
Navi.
"Link, my love, we're going to have a baby," I finally said. The next thing I heard was a clank of silverware hitting his plate. His
As the
eyes grew
poison kicked in.
His eyes grew as big as saucers. His pupils were dilating because the poison was kicking in. He was going on a trip.
This was gonna be the weirdest fuck of his life.
His eyes grew as big as saucers as he looked at me. You mean I'm going to be a father?" he said as a look
Oh,
of
boy.
pure shock came across his face. I nodded yes. "Oh, Jen, congratulations! I had no idea you were pregnant," Navi added. Then Link leapt out of his chair, ran over to me, lifted me up, and took me into his... If only. Lifted and took me into his arms. He stared deeply into my eyes, then kissed me passionately. "I love you, Jen. I cannot believe that I'm going to be a father." Excitement filled Link's eyes. Then he placed a hand on my belly. How far along are you?" Link asked with excitement. "The healer said I was 2 months along," I replied. "I still cannot believe it. I'm I'm going to be a daddy, Link added.
Never say that again.
Say it again, Link. Say it.
Daddy!
Call me daddy.
Heavy
Oh my
breathing
God.
intensifies.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Link and I held each other for a long time while the poison started to leave his body. I need to make sure he didn't drown in his own barf or something. Fuck, I can't think straight right now. Sorry, I need a moment.
One of the side effects of poison was painful erections.
Oh my. Link and I held each other for a long time. We were happy that we were going to have a baby. Excitement filled us both. I laid my head against
his ejaculate.
What?
Is excitement the name of his ejaculate?
Alright. I laid my head.
That's what filling them. His excitement.
I got it. It wasn't that funny.
Oof. I laid my head against Link's chest, trying to recover from that shitty joke.
Fuck
And out of
you.
the corner of my eye, I saw Lily and Navi smiling in a way of saying, "Aw, isn't that beautiful?" Felt a rush of happiness run through me, especially as his dick started to harden under me. I knew now that I was going to be complete as he completed inside of me. I had Link, and now I was going to have his baby. Link was now going to have a child he always wanted. We were truly blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
I really hate this fanfiction.
Link and I held each other for a long time. We were happy that we were going to have a baby.
Zane just read that.
Wait, what? Oh, whoops. The next days were not easy. The morning sickness hit when I got up in the morning, and the dizziness would hit by mid-afternoon, despite the fact that I was only in the first trimester. With Link's duties at the castle, he was not able to remain at home with me like he wanted to, but he left Navi and Lily to watch over me.
Oh, great.
Link
Toad and Navi.
Link did not worry about me while he was away. In fact, he forgot about me and never came back. But he knew that Lily and Navi would take care of me.
Until one day they left to help the warriors train at the Hyrule Castle too, and they never returned.
Warriors? Wait,
Now
did
here
you
I
cross
sit in
over
it.
with Star Kits?
Oh, jeez.
Most ambitious
It was the
crossover event.
It was the hottest part of the summer. About midday, some of the villagers from Kakarayo village would gather into Lake Hylia. Like they would all jump into the lake like lemmings. It was beautiful. Inside the Lost Woods, it was a little cooler. However, sometimes the humidity would make going outside unbearable. Oh, I know about humidity.
What the fuck do you know about humidity? There is no water.
Yeah, well,
Water is a foreign concept.
I lived in a humid part of the state before I moved to where I am now. It was very humid, and it would reach like 70% humidity in the summer, and it sucked.
Let's see. From time to time, I would go to the castle and visit with Princess Zelda, or to watch Link in the practice yards. But during the days that it was too hot, I would remain at home. And on the days that Link stayed home, we ourselves would go to Lake Hylia to cool off. And then the baby popped out and drowned in the water.
Oh, that's dark.
After the hot months in early fall, Link and I talked about taking our relationship beyond our vows. We wanted to bond ourselves further than our marriage had. We found out that there was a monastery just beyond Gerudo Valley where the monks there performed pagan bonding rituals.
Ceremonies.
Fuck. These rituals were performed to bond married couples further than their married vows.
Marriage vows.
Marriage vows. Also, wrong type of then. You put then. You should have put than.
Yeah.
Link and I decided that we meant so much to each other that we wanted to do it together. You've already been doing it together. Also, I'm going to turn on my fan. Let me know if that pops up on the audio.
Yeah. Let's see. Are we doing the next chapter too, or are we going to end this here?
Chapter 2, because this has been less than an hour so far.
Okay, yeah. We'll continue then. Right. A week later, we mounted our horses at the monastery.
Oh my.
Monastery, sorry. It took quite some time to reach it, since when we arrived at Gerudo village, the Gerudos insisted on us stopping to chat. We had enough.
Fan, are you able to hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Seriously?
Well, I mean, I can hear you speaking. That's about it.
Oh, so you can't hear the fan?
No, I can't hear your fan.
Okay.
I hear my fan, but that's in my room.
I can't hear your fan.
We had an afternoon meal there, then resumed our way towards. After another short ride, we arrived at the monastery. When we reached the gate, a group of monks was there to greet us. After we dismounted, a monk came and took the stable. Okay, you should have added a comma there. I had no idea they were expecting us, but Link told me later that he had set it up a few days before. We were taken inside to a chamber where the head of the monastery was waiting for us. First, we were asked a few questions, then he explained the steps of the ceremony to us. Then he had two monks bring a bowl with an oily liquid in it. The head monk took his thumb, dipped it in the liquid, and smeared it on our foreheads while he chanted. Then he said that the ceremony was to be preformed outside, but that it was to be preformed in the nude. Okay, if it's Gerudo Valley, the only men who are there are carpenters. The rest are women. Like
I think it's
part of the lore.
Past Gerudo Valley.
Okay.
Memory serves. Let me check.
Okay.
Just beyond Gerudo Valley.
Okay, yeah, it's just.
Also, may I just say that what we're about to see.
Just hard to follow is all.
What we're about to see, oh boy.
Oh no.
Okay, but like, when I'm reading this, all I can think of like is Simba when he gets picked up and is like held over Pride Rock. That's all I'm thinking is about to happen here.
Simba. And then they got thrown off.
If only.
That would be for the best, but you know.
Yes.
Choosers can't be beggars. I mean, what?
Fortunately not.
Alright, so, wait. He explained that their beliefs were, everything is born from the earth. I'm just going to scratch that out and put light realm. Is that what it was?
Light world.
Yeah.
Everything was born from the light realm, and when you die, you go back to the light realm. And since the ceremony was performed under the witnesses of Mother Light Realm, we had to remove our clothes. I shot Link a worried look, mostly because these people seem to think we're on some planet called Earth. I think they're kind of crazy.
Fucking weirdos.
But he gave me a reassuring
stay away from my planet.
Who the fuck names a planet Earth? I mean, that's like, hey, I have an idea for a planet. Soil.
Do not diss Holy Terra.
Fuck you and your planet.
Oh boy. Alright, where was I again? I
Uh,
shot like where Luke, but gave me a reassuring smile that made me feel better. After we removed our clothes, we were led to a beautiful garden with an oak tree in the middle. What? The great Deku tree is here too? Huh? What? No!
There are multiple Deku trees.
His like
Bring me
face
your
just like
trial.
scrunches up and it's gone.
Great Deku tree. I just imagine Midoriya for some reason, like a tree growing Midoriyas.
oh god.
Oh boy, alright. I keep losing my spot, I'm sorry.
I felt a wave of calm.
I felt a wave of calm as we walked further into the garden. We were led to the oak tree and told to kneel down in front of each other. After we knelt down facing each other, I could see Link's hard cock. The head monk said he would explain each step of the ritual as he went. First, two goblets were brought to us with liquid in them. Next, one of the monks brought a ruby-hilted dagger and handed it to Link. Then the head monk explained to us that we each had to cut our palms and drop some blood into the goblets in front of us, and then drink it. An uneasy feeling washed over me. Cutting my hand was not one thing I wanted to do, but Link shot me a comforting glance as I started to calm.
Why is he so relaxed
As I
about
start
this?
to calm about it.
I cannot. I can't English.
I cannot English. The monk explained why cutting our palms was necessary. Then I wanted to Then I watched as Link took the tip of the dagger and slit the palm of his left hand.
Left hand.
His left hand.
Left hand. Link
Yo,
then
you lift, bruh?
Link then clenched his hand into a fist and the blood slowly dripped into the goblet in front of him. Then Link handed the dagger to me. I felt a little scared because apparently this is the first time I'd ever been cut, despite, stating that I was someone who had some form of, fighting training.
No, she had archery training. She always stayed away from the people, so she'd never actually gotten cut. It was more like the bandits were like, I don't know, teenagers who thought they could rob people, but she ended up just killing kids.
So basically, like, all of her muscles are like in the back.
Yeah.
She's just got a bunch of like back muscle.
Yeah. Ew.
So she can lift. Let's see.
Is that why she hugged Link backwards? Because all her muscles are in the back?
She's so strong that she just dislocated her shoulders. When I looked back at... I was a little scared as I held the dagger in my hand. When I looked back up at Link, he reassured me it was okay. It's okay, honey. It'll only hurt for a second. He also said that the first night they fucked. You'll be okay, my love. I'm here with you. I looked into his eyes and a glint of comfort shone in them, whatever the fuck that means. I nodded and then took the dagger and placed the tip of it against the palm of my left hand, as opposed to my left hand.
I closed my eyes, apparently pirate now.
I closed my eyes, me hearties.
And I made a wince.
Made a wince.
She
created a
wince.
wince.
I winced as the dagger cut my palm. That was one thing I could not forgive. I'm sorry. No, you know what? No, I'm not sorry. As I looked down at my hand, I saw blood seeping out of the wound. Then I clenched my hand into a fist and let the blood drip into the goblet in front of me. After I did that, one of the monks took the dagger from me. Next, we were told to exchange the goblets and drink from them. Oh, they are drinking them! Ew!
Yes, but you've never drank blood before.
No,
Mixing it with oil seems pretty fucking weird.
You're
supposed to dip bread in oil, not blood.
I forget you're an inhuman abomination. Then Link and I exchanged the goblets. Link took a drink from his first, then I took a drink from mine. The strange liquid in the goblets made me feel different. Made me feel
tripping out, man.
Huh?
I'm tripping out, man.
I'm
tripping out, man.
And what?
Man.
Oh, man.
Out, man.
Sniper, no swiping.
Okay. I'll just keep reading. The monk then told us to take our hands with the wounds on them and clasp them together. As our hands bonded, our blood meshed together.
And we got
and she got all of my STDs because we're touching blood.
And the connection between us was felt. It was
he has pubic lice on his palms?
I started to feel a little closer to him. Started to feel like he was inside me. I closed my eyes. Again.
I closed my eyes.
And I heard Link's voice inside my ears, inside my mind, but only faintly. I reached out for him, but nothing was there. I then opened my eyes again.
Oh boy.
Alright. Next, the head monk... What?
Oh boy.
Next, the head monk explained that to strengthen the bonds further, we had to drink each other's body fluids.
Oh my god.
My eyes widened and jaw dropped at the thought of that. But we were reassured that it was perfectly harmless. It's not like we're about to get each other's STDs.
Again.
Good thing we don't have any yet. I looked at Link and he nodded in agreement. He wanted my STDs though. He's a weirdo. He placed his hand on mine and a wash of comfort ran over me. I nodded that I was ready and we were handed 2 small cups and told to urinate. Urine in it? Jesus Christ! What the fuck?
You ready for water sports?
Okay, my urge to kill is rising.
Is this what despair looks like?
I don't know.
That's just what bad writing looks like.
Bad writing looks like water sports. So it looks like that leaked video of Trump with those Russian prostitutes.
How are you so involved in Earth politics?
I'm just observing. It was so hard to do what was requested, but as I did what I had to do, a small feeling of uneasiness tingled inside me and outside me. When I sat back down, Link had already finished and placed his cup down in front of him. Oh, God. I then placed mine down in front of me and waited for what to do next. The head monk said a few words that we were told to exchange the cups and drink from them.
Ugh.
Ow! Still hurts less. Ugh. Link went first, and I watched his face twisted. I watched as his face twisted slightly as he drank from the cup. Then I took my cup, slowly lifted it to my lips, and crinkled my nose as I drank from it. As I whoops. A sour taste was left behind after I finished. Next, we were told to close our eyes and hold hands. The monk began to chant in an unknown tongue. As he watched, I felt a presence around me, something like a spirit, but I was not quite sure. A warm feeling filled inside me, like being next to a fire. I felt at peace. Felt a calm. I could feel Link again. Felt his body against mine, even though our hands were the only things touching.
The feeling made me feel happy inside, made me feel closer to him. I hoped that the feeling would never end. I opened my eyes and the monk had stopped chanting, and he then explained that there were 4 more separate bonding rituals, each to bond us together in every aspect of our being. They were mentally, spiritually, physically, and sexually. Oh, yay. Completing each would bond us together in an unbreakable bond. When we were ready, we nodded and were told what the first ritual was.
The mental bonding.
That's so dead.
The second this turned to water sports, I did die. After the rules were explained, we were told we took each other's hands and held them. When the head monk began to chant, we closed our eyes and began to feel the warm feeling inside me again.
God damn it.
This time it was more intense. Then my mind was cleared of all thoughts, and I was left in total emptiness, like being in a void. There was nothing but quiet. Then the silence was broken by a distant voice. As the voice came closer, I could tell that it was Link's. Link was inside my mind, calling out to me. I reached for him and called out to him, tried to find him. As he called to me again, his voice rang through my mind. His voice vibrated through my body inside my bones. His voice made me feel warm, made me feel secure. I did not feel alone. He was there with me. Hearing his voice inside my mind made me feel closer to him. I felt as if our minds were connected. I felt as if we were. I felt as if we're one. As I searched for him, his voice seemed like a flame. I felt its warmth, then saw its light. I reached for it, called to it, watched as the flame danced. Link's voice ran inside it. I moved inside the emptiness, tried to reach for the flame, tried to reach for Link, but no matter how hard I tried, I could not reach him. Then the flame flicked out, and Link's voice became distant again until all there was but silence. Jesus Christ, I am slowly losing my mental ability as I read this.
Yeah, no, you're not the only one.
The voice closed around me, and I came back. I opened my eyes and looked at Link. He was just as wide-eyed as me. Then I smiled at him before returning attention to the monk. He looked at us and told us that the mental bonding was complete. Good Lord, I'm glad that's over.
You know what's healthy you know what makes for a healthy relationship? A constant psychic link.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
totally
that's
healthy.
a great thing to do. To freaking.
All you hear inside his mind is yeah.
No, all that you hear is Navi just saying, "Hey, listen," and no thoughts of his own.
Oh no.
Physical bonding. The head monk told us the rules for the physical bonding. First, we had to put our wrists together and hold them together in front of us. Then 2 monks came with rope and tied our wrists together. A bowl with a white smoke rising out of it was put in front of us. We were told to inch closer to the bowl, then told to close our eyes again. The void opened up inside me again, and the warm feeling ran through my bones. I felt Link again, inside my mind and inside my body. I heard his voice calling, felt his body against mine, felt his heart beating. So warm, so calming. I reached for him. I tried to touch him. Then the void was shattered when I heard Link scream. I twisted in pain as he screamed inside my mind. My mind felt like it was on fire. My body felt like hot needles were being poked in. As Link twisted in pain, I felt everything he was feeling. He screamed for me to help, but I was helpless.
What is this?
Stupid.
Like, seriously? Lucid dreaming?
It's really fucking unhealthy.
Yeah, like, ugh.
The whole thing,
My body felt his heart. What?
Keep on.
My body felt his heart beating faster, felt him twist in pain. I screamed as his voice rang loudly through my mind. Rang loudly. My head felt like it was being crushed as the intense pain raged through me.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. I wanted it all to end. Yeah, so do we. Wanted the pain to go away. Sense of the connection that was bonding us together. All pain that one feels, the other feels the same at the same time. As the pain Yeah. As the pain intensified, my heart began to beat faster. My pulse raced and my body twisted and screamed as the shattering screams and pure pain raged through my every vein. Then I opened my eyes and stared at Link with unblinking eyes as I watched him twisting in pain. He felt everything I was feeling. My wrists twisted as Link and I moved around. I screamed louder, wanting it all to cease, prayed it would end. Then all of the sudden, the void broke and the pain ceased. Then I felt the warmth run through me again. Link's heart slowed its beat and his voice ran softly through my mind. Link touched my soul and I felt a calming feeling come over me again. As the flame rose in my mind again, a rose bloomed in my soul. Link's voice called from the flame and his touch came from the rose. I tried to reach for the flame, tried to touch the rose, but the closer I got, the further away they became.
Yeah, this is actually all just a scam, and it turns out this is the only way the links can get off. The monks can get off nowadays by watching other people in pain.
Let's go with that.
Makes more sense than any of the shit so far.
Zane, I believe it's your turn.
Oh, where am I again? The physical bonding?
Then the feeling changed.
Then the feeling. Oh wow, I'm really far behind. My bad.
Yeah.
Then the feelings changed. A pleasurable feeling started to surround me, and it rushed through my body with like a raging river. I felt hot inside. It felt erotic. It felt good. Then I could feel Link's touch. He was touching my boobies. It felt like he was inside of me. Oh, like when we're always having sex. Felt like our bodies merged. Then the feeling grew stronger, grew more intense, and it became a sexual feeling. It felt like having sex. I felt a stronger connection with Link. Felt as if we were connected. Felt as if we were one. Felt as if we merged. Then the void shattered around me, and I awoke. And I awoke.
She said the same thing literally over and over there.
Yeah, it's just...
Felt as we were connected. Felt as if we were one. It felt like we were connected. Felt as if we were merging. Sexual feeling. It felt like we were having sex.
Yeah, by the way, we felt connected.
I don't drink, but this fan fiction is making me want to.
You don't what?
I don't drink, but this fan fiction is making me want to.
I blinked at the sunlight and looked at Link. He was whipping. He was whipping the sweat from his brow. God, if only I wish. We were coming around from our strange...
I watched Link whip, and I watched him nay-nay.
Oh, no! Fuck you.
Yeah, I am going to agree with Llytic on this. Fuck you.
We regained our senses quickly. My wrist hurt from all the twisting, and also all the jacking it. I moved them around against his to get comfortable. I turned to the head monk. He lowered his hands and clapped. Okay. The 2 monks came and removed the rope from around our wrists and took the bowl Fuck! Took the bowl away. I rubbed my wrist to soothe the pain. Then he placed a hand on my head and one on Link's. After about a minuet, we were told the physical bonding was complete.
The spiritual bonding. The next ritual was the spiritual bonding. After the details were told to us, the head monk called his 2 servants, and they came with 2 colored pendants and bowls with colored liquid in them. The 2 servants took the liquid and begun to draw with an L-Y, beautiful intricate patterns on our backs, arms, and chests. Then they put the pendant with the red stone around my neck, the blue one around Link's. The 2 servants moved away, and we were told to embrace each other. I moved over to Link and into his arms. I put my arms around his neck and closed my eyes. I heard the head monk start to chant again, and my mind clearing of all thoughts as the void opened around me again.
There's nothing different about any of these ceremonies.
I heard Link's voice call out to me again in my mind. The erotic feeling filled my body, and I felt the warmth of Link's body against mine. I could feel Link inside me again. I felt his heart beating inside my chest. Felt it beating alongside mine. Fuck. The feeling ran deeper. Sorry. Deeper. Into my soul. My souls were connected, our very souls together. Oh, dear Lord, I actually am about to... I felt as if our bodies merged. Felt as if our minds became one. I could hear Link's thoughts in the back of my mind like a distant voice. His thoughts rushed through me. His heart pounded in my chest. Then I felt myself arise out of my body.
My spirit rose above me, and I looked over and saw Link had done the same. We had activated our stance. I went over to him, merged with the spirit, became one. I became him. He became me. After we merged completely, our souls separated and returned to our bodies, each carrying a part of each other's spirit. It was really gory. I felt our souls merge. We felt the connection between us. We were soulmates, literally. We were always destined to be together, somehow, because that's how life works. I felt as if I had known him all my life. I learned many new things about him, learned about his past. We were drift compatible.
Link doesn't have a past.
Learned about how he felt. I heard him call to me. I heard him call me his world. Fuck. Call me his life. I knew now that he was deeply in love with me. As if you didn't know before.
Mm-hmm.
How insecure are you? I meant more to him than life itself. We were one. Now and forever.
Ugh.
All I'm getting from this.
Then the void shattered. I felt Link's hand stroking my hair, and I opened my eyes. I looked deeply into them and saw how he felt in them. They flickered with passion, flickered with love. I leaned over and gently kissed him. I told him that I loved him and he was the most important thing in my life. The head monk stopped chanting, and we returned our attention to him. He looked at us and told us that the spiritual bonding was complete.
He called his servants back and had them bring us some water. A minute later, the 2 servants came back with 2 mugs filled with water. Oh shit. We were each handed a mug, and I drank the water in large gulps. After we finished, the servants took the mugs away. Took the mugs away and left. Good Lord. What is wrong with me?
Are you physically getting sick?
I think this is making me physically sick.
The sexual bonding.
Of course.
We were told that the final part of the ceremony was the sexual bonding. We were explained the rules. First, we had to have sex.
Really?
And since we completed the other rituals, the sexual bonding process will be easy yet more intense. I was nervous about having sex in front of others. And yet you weren't nervous about getting off in front of others. We were told that the only witness would be Mother Earth herself. I held Link's hand as he stroked my hair and said everything was going to be okay. He was here with me. He was there with me. And he also had no agency of his own, so he was okay with everything that was happening. His words made me feel better, so I calmed down. The head monk explained the requirements in completing the ritual that was gone. Then was gone. Fuck. Seriously, though, Link has been way too calm about this entire thing.
Yeah, they are obviously like doing some sort of like dark magic thing, and just
some really stupid dark magic.
And like freaking
motherfuckers don't know what real dark magic is.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Not dark magic. Just some. It's stupid. It's stupid. That's what it is. Yeah. And this whole thing is. I'm just gonna read. Then I turned and faced Link. I looked deeply into his eyes, and he took his hand and brushed the stray hair out of my face. Then I took the tips of my fingers and ran them down his bare chest. A lulling feeling came over me. Link felt it too, like a call of nature. He leaned over and gently pressed his lips on mine. We began to kiss passionately, tasting the sweetness on each other's lips. Our tongues began to intertwine as we kissed deeper. Sexual thoughts began to race through my mind again. What do you mean again? That's basically the only thoughts you have.
Thinking about sex.
And I could feel Link's hand starting to caress my naked body as his lips moved my breasts. I let out soft moans of passion as new sensations begun to race through me.
Into a wall.
I felt Link's heart beginning to beat alongside mine, and the feeling of being connected began to race through me again, as I heard his every thought. I heard him in my mind telling me that he wanted to make love.
I'm sorry, but I just think, like, hearing someone in your mind as you're having sex would just be really uncomfortable.
Just freaking...
Well, this guy just stopped teasing already and put it in. Wait, what? Oh, fuck, you weren't supposed to hear that.
Then I felt him getting aroused, felt how much he wanted
feeling
it.
someone else's arousal in your mind.
Strong, intense feelings raced through my body, raced through my bones.
Throw your bones out of your body.
As sweat begun to form. And then I felt myself getting hotter. Felt myself wanting him more and more.